Hello horror story lovers. Up to this point in the story, we understand that Ahan was able to communicate with the world of the dead by using the book, and he left the workshop at night to help strangers, and suddenly realized that those people are not human. Join my channel to enjoy real horror stories. Almost 2 weeks had passed since I got that strange book. Some nights when I was in the mood, I read the book, and other nights I usually thought about my uncle's house. And the important point is that the strange events happened only in the night when I was reading that book. And the other nights, everything was normal. So, everything was related to this book. I think those scary creatures didn't want me to read the book, and they prevented me from reading books by scaring me. But even though I was afraid, I still entertained myself by reading the book. And I realized that they could only scare me and didn't have the power to hurt me. One night, it was raining heavily. I stopped work at around 9 p.m. My uncle and my cousins went to their home and locked the door. I went to my room too and turned on the light. And I put the food on the stove to warm up. There was absolute silence, and only the sound of rain could be heard. I was about to eat dinner when that cat came. He was wet and shivering from the cold. We have dinner together. He always left the room after dinner, but this time he didn't go out and sat in the corner of the room. It was raining outside, and that cat didn't want to get wet either. I had nothing to do with the cat because it was better than being alone. I went to the shelf to take the book. Suddenly, that black cat got up and roared. He wanted to tell me not to touch the book. I was surprised, and involuntarily I went to the window. Every time I went to the book, the cat got up and roared. I noticed that the cat was shaking, but I didn't know that he was scared or cold. I gave up the book and got ready to sleep. I had a small room. I went under the blanket to sleep. Since I was a child, I used to sleep facing the wall. After a few minutes, the cat came and slept next to me. I woke up strangely and felt someone clinging to my waist. I was scared. I could hear breathing. I did not dare to look behind me. I was sweating from stress. I started praying, and suddenly I turned and looked behind me. It was the same black cat, but too small. I fell asleep again. Not even 5 minutes had passed when I experienced the same feeling. I was awake and wanted to look back, but no matter how hard I tried, I could not. It was as if my body was paralyzed and I could not move. All I could do was blinking. Suddenly, I heard 2 men talking. One of them said, "Take him out of here." But the other man said, "We cannot take this boy. It was as if they were talking about me. I have never been scared like this. One of them said, when we cannot take this boy, why do we come to him every night? The other said, it is the Sultan's order. I didn't know who they were talking about and who is Sultan. I was listening to them when I suddenly fainted. I don't know how much time passed before I woke up with the loud noise. The sound of horses walking came from the yard. I got up and found the door open, and the cat was not in the room. The rain had stopped, but it was still cold. I turned on the lamp, and there was no one in the room. I told myself that I must have dreamed. I want to do something to stop being afraid. I looked out through the door. I thought that the horses must be in the stable, but no, it wasn't. They were like humans, but with long arms and legs that had hooves, like legs of a horse, and with bodies full of red hair. I didn't know what to do. I opened the curtain to watch better, and I saw that the stable door was completely open, and there are 3 people on each horse, and they had couched the horses with a rope. I locked the door of my room. The door was wooden and very old. I started praying. I was leaning on the wall and fell asleep slowly. And I woke up with my uncle's voice. Ahan, are you here? Open the door. Ahan, are you okay? I was very happy when I heard my uncle's voice. I quickly went and opened the door. He told me, sleep less. We have a lot of work. But he did not know what terrible things happened. I had no provider, and I knew that he didn't believe me. I was young and alone, and afraid that they would think that I'm crazy. These events were not normal at all. I was worried that I might get sick. Does that mean I became psycho?